This Chintraketu is the lowest of Kshatriyas, for he has impudently overridden Brahma and other demigods by insulting Lord Shiva, upon whose lotus feet they always meditate. Lord Shiva is the personified religion and the spiritual master of the entire world, and therefore Krishna Chitraketu must be punished. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. All the members of the assembly were exalted brahmanas and self-realized souls, but they did not say anything about the conduct of Lord Shiva, who was embracing goddess fortune for Parvati on his lap. Chitraketu nonetheless criticized Lord Shiva, and therefore the opinion of Parvati was that he should be punished. Text 14. Nayam arhati vaikunta.
Nayam arhati vaikunta.
Padamulopasarpanam.
Padamulopasarpanam.
Sambhavita mati stabdaha.
Sambhavita mati stabdaha.
Sadhubhi paryupasitam.
Sadhubhihi paryupasitam.
This person is puffed up because of his achievements, thinking, I am the best. He does not deserve to approach the shelter of Lord Vishnu's lotus feet, which are worshipped by all saintly persons, for he is impudent, thinking himself greatly important. Purport. If a devotee thinks that he is very much advanced in devotional service, he is considered puffed up and unfit to sit beneath the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Again, this instruction by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is applicable. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanena manadena kirtanaya sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Unless one is very humble and meek, one cannot qualify to sit at the lotus feet of the Lord. So all these verses brings the point of being humble, even if you have taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. It's not like when you take shelter of Krishna, you got the license to criticize anybody and everybody. Why are you not chanting? So things like this type of statements are only done by fanatics, kanishtas. Kanishtas, they think they are the highest, they are the best devotees. This type of mentality comes under Kanishta Adhikari, the lowest of the three category of devotees, three levels of devotees. They think I am the best. And from me comes everything. Because of me, everything comes. There's a very nice song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I'll just get the book 1 second. So this is a beautiful song which Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung. Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur. The purpose of associating with the Vaishnava is to keep our mind where it belongs. Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur. Let me see. Kripa Karo Vaishnava. Text 40. Page 40. Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakura. Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakura. If you have a mobile, you can download this song. You can see in the ISKCON Desire Tree, most probably you'll get that. संबंध जानिए बचते बचते अभिमान हो दूरा कृपा करो वैष्णवता को राम আমি তো বৈষ্ণব এ বুদ্ধি হইলে আমানি না হইবে আমি প্রতিষ্ঠাশাসী হৃদয় দূষিবে হইব নিরয়গামী কৃপা করো বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুরা তোমার কিঙ্কর আপনে জানিব गुरु अभिमान त्याजी तुम्हारो चिस्त पद जल रेणु सदा निष्कपते बाजी कृपा करो वैष्णव ठाकुरा निज श्रेष्ठ जानी उचित दाने आय होइबे अभिमान भारा তাই শিষ্য তব থাকিয়া সর্বদা নলইব পূজাকারা কৃপা করো বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুরা আমানি মানদ হইলে কীর্তন অধিকার দিবে তুমি তোমার চরণে নিষ্কপতে আমি কান্দিয়া লুটিব ভূমি কৃপা করো বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুরা Please bestow your mercy, O Vaishnava Thakur, by knowing my relationship with Sri Krishna and constantly engaging in bhajan, my false ego will thus be dispelled. If I develop the idea that I am a Vaishnava, then I will never become humble. My heart will become contaminated with a desire to receive honor from others, and I shall go to hell. I will know myself to be your servant, having given up the false conception of being Guru. With sincerity, I shall always honor your remnants, the water that has washed your feet, and the dust of your lotus feet. If I consider myself to be superior to all, and give my remnants and so forth to others, the weight of my false pride will become very heavy. Thus, always remaining in the mood of your disciple, I will not accept worship from others. If I renounce the desire for honor for myself and instead offer respects to others, you will give me the qualification to perform kirtan. Without duplicity, I shall cry and roll on the ground at your lotus feet. This bhajan is very, very significant, especially in this relationship, this particular pastime, which our Chitraketu Maharaj, he started criticizing Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was sitting Parvati was sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva, even in the presence of other great demigods, and nobody raised a voice. But somehow or other, Chitraketu was flying by. He saw this and he was laughing. And he was criticizing Lord Shiva, not understanding Lord Shiva's exalted position. Therefore, this particular song which Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, this concept, this state of mind by which we have to remain humble comes only in the association of one very advanced devotee. When we are under the shelter of such advanced devotee, then one will get the idea that he is very insignificant. He has no value except when the mercy of the spiritual master comes to him, even a little drop, then he has some value. This is very important to know that, because we think we know everything. We think we are already great Vaishnavas and we will commit an offense against other people. In this connection also, there is a nice passage of Thakur Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Some disciple, I think Bhakti-Raksh Sridhar Maharaj, came to Prabhupada and told that so-and-so disciple is doing this thing, that thing, this is a problem, this has, that has. He was mentioning the problems they are facing. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, have you been given the authority to keep a tab on other people, what they are doing and what they are not doing? This is not your business. Your business is to mainly rectify your own heart and let this business be taken care by Guru and Krishna. It's a very nice passage. I don't have that passage right in front of me to actually read that. So even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada never encouraged disciples to criticize somebody on the basis of his character or whatever it is. It is not our business because we don't know when we will commit the same mistake in sometimes in the future. So we have to be very careful that we are not faultless. We are still conditioned souls. And it's a long wait for us to go to the point of coming to the platform of Uttama Bhagavata. Only in Madhyam Adhikari, when he is doing Namabhas, there are three categories: Madhyam Kanishta, Madhyam Uttam. Until one comes to Madhyam to or Madhyam Uttama stage, this is a stage before Uttama Bhagavata, one doesn't even chant the Shuddha Nam. One is only chanting Namabhas. It's a semblance of the holy name. And he is free from the influence of the three modes of nature, Madhyam or Madhyam Uttam. And then only in that stage, he has the ability to know who is more advanced than him. And he takes shelter of such an advanced devotee and pray for his mercy and hears his Vani, his lectures, and serves his lotus feet and tries to do intimate service to such a Uttama Bhagavata. But this ability to recognize Uttama Bhagavata comes only when we are in Madhyam or Madhyam Uttam. When in a Kanishta platform, we cannot know who is more advanced than us. We may say, yeah, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance, forgive my offenses, but it's only words coming out of the mouth. The next minute, he will commit some mistakes or he will neglect such a person. Or sometimes we have the modern way, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. But this is all verbal. In our times, when we used to meet between devotees, we used to go and offer obeisances, full obeisances to all our God brothers. This was the standard. Nowadays, you don't see this standard much. Maybe they will offer obeisance to their guru, but to other God brothers and God sisters, they don't do that. It is not often seen that. Therefore, when one offers obeisances, but how will you offer obeisances unless you get the mercy, unless one chants the holy name purely, free from offenses. Madhyamadhikari, he doesn't commit offenses to the holy name. And therefore, he has the ability to recognize who is superior to him. One who is committing offenses all the time, the 10 kinds of Namaparad, then it is very difficult for such a person to even recognize who is more advanced than him. Therefore, we have to understand this position of the ability to recognize somebody is very advanced and offer him all intimate services and obeisances and hear from him Harikatha. This one cannot get unless one comes to minimum Madhyam or Madhyam Uttama. So with that being the case, here Chitraketu, he suddenly started laughing at our Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva's position is very unusual. And generally, it also explained elsewhere that when we enter into when somebody enters into the company of Lord Shiva and Parvati, especially when they are naked, then whoever comes there, they'll get a female body. They cannot remain male also. Because Lord Shiva is also an enjoyer in that situation. Similarly, the Rasa dance of Krishna, only females are allowed. No males. All the gopis were females. No cowherd boys, not even elders like Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, nobody can enter into that rasa dance. Because it is a special pastime to please a certain class of devotees. So, just like the sun is shining so strongly, sometime in the summertime it is so hot. Sometimes we think that the sun should just vanish from the sky. Or we say, let me spit at the sun. But what happens? The spit will go up and it will fall on our own face. So if we criticize the sun, not knowing what is the sun's position and how it maintains the whole universe, maybe we are having a little uncomfortable situation of getting too much heat, but we have no right to criticize sun. This is sun's special benediction. Similarly, it is mentioned here very clearly, those who are Ishwaras, they cannot be criticized. Rather, one should remain, if a devotee thinks that he is very much advanced in devotional service, he is considered puffed up and unfit to sit beneath the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Why? Because we are Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Marsha Sthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this, that we are part and parcel of Krishna. So if we are acting on that platform, then we can sit under the Lord's lotus feet as a particle of dust. But you have puffed up, thinking I'm the best devotee, this and that, then you have no position at the shelter of Lord's lotus feet. Only otherwise, what happens if you become puffed up? Then manasasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Then you will become, one will struggle with his senses and mind and false ego in the material existence. Therefore, we have to understand what it means to commit an offense as a Vaishnava, as a living entity, as a part and parcel of Krishna. We have taken the position of serving Krishna. We have no right to criticize anybody. What to speak of criticizing a devotee? Not even the other living entities. We cannot criticize. Because if we criticize, then our mind becomes disturbed and contaminated by the anarthas which are coming from somebody else's body and mind. Just like we say, we point one finger at somebody, then these three fingers are pointing at ourselves. So you are pointing finger at somebody, but three times it points at us. So we cannot find, we have no right to find faults in anybody. Better to look at our own faults. We have a long way to go. We are not able to chant. Half the time our mind is wandering here and there, committing all sorts of nama parad, seva parad, dhamma parad, Vaishnava parad. Then what business we have to correct anybody and everybody? No business. Nobody has authorized us. The Guru has not told now you should find faults and correct everybody. So therefore, one should be very, very careful that our position is very insignificant. We are 1/10,000th part of a tip of the hair. We are so minute. So we cannot even see ourselves. So how can we criticize somebody who is millions of times more exalted than us, especially somebody like Lord Shiva? Therefore, it is said one should not consider the spiritual master or Krishna as an ordinary human being. Immediately we'll fall down. Immediately, almost instantaneously. What is that fall down means? We will be controlled by our mind, our senses. That's why Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tektva deham punar janma naiti mam eti suarjuna. One who considers my janma, my transcendental birth and activities, karma, as divyam, as transcendental, he will immediately, he will never have to take birth again in this material world. That is the power of considering Krishna's position and a Vaishnava's position, especially a pure Vaishnava. If somebody finds faults with them, that means he will immediately fall down one. That means we will be controlled by our own mind and senses, and we will not be able to even see the faults in us. One of the process is self-realization is to find the faults within oneself. See, what are my shortcomings? How can I improve my life? Am I doing vacha vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jibba vegam, udrapasta vegam? Or these vegas, the pushings of my mind, senses, belly, stomach, genitals are under my control? Therefore, even in the Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthira Maharaj, the consideration was who is most worshipable. So everybody thought Bhishma Dev is worshipable because he's a lifelong brahmachari and this and that. But Bhishma Dev said, no, I am a brahmachari because I don't take the company of opposite sex, of woman. Whereas Lord Krishna is in the company of thousands of beautiful goddesses of fortune. And his mind is not disturbed. Therefore, who could be a better brahmachari than Krishna? I'm at least avoiding woman, but he is in the company of woman. And he is not getting disturbed. Therefore, his feet are the most worshipable object of everyone. And therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj washes the feet of Krishna during the Rajasuya sacrifice. Therefore, that's why Krishna says, Janma Karma Chame Divya. This Rasa Leela, all these the great pastimes of Krishna, lifting the Govardhan hill, dancing on the head of the serpent, Kaliya, these are not ordinary things. No ordinary person can do anything like that. So if they cannot lift the Govardhan hill or dance on top of Kaliya serpent, or you can lift the Govardhan hill, how can you criticize Krishna's pastimes with gopis? And these gopis are not ordinary conditioned souls. They are direct expansions of Radharani, who is the Haladini Shakti of Krishna. She knows how to please Krishna. She knows that Krishna likes the company of women, so she expanded herself into all these gopis so that Krishna can enjoy. She is happy when Krishna is happy. And that is why she creates her own bodily expansions. And then there are also another set of gopis, that is Tattat Bhava Ichami. The ones gopis who are dancing in the Rasa dance, they are Sambhoga Ichami. They enjoy with Krishna with all their limbs and give him Krishna the pleasure. But a Tattat Bhava Ichamai is not directly associating with Krishna, but whatever feeling that appears in the heart of Radharani also appears in their heart. So it is not ordinary thing to be even a maid servant of Radharani. What to become servant of Krishna, even maid servant of Radharani is not an ordinary thing. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come for in this age of Kali to give that relationship or that love for Krishna as the maid servants of Radha. Anarpita charim chirat karunaiva tirno kalo. Does that verse go? I forget. Anarpita charim chirat karunaiva tirno kalo. Samarpayitam unnat pojala rasam swabhakti shriyam. Swabhakti. Swa means her bhakti to Krishna. Swabhakti shriyam, the beauty of that bhakti is called Manjari Bhav. Therefore, the gopis were the unsung heroes of Krishna's pastime. Nobody knows about their dealings with Krishna. They made all arrangements so that Radha and Krishna can come together. So this was actually given, this facility was given by the Manjaris as a humble servants of Radha. Therefore, we have to understand how exalted these devotees are. And Chitraketu, being a conditioned soul, even though he got shelter of Krishna, Vishnu, he criticized Lord Shiva. So this is considered the most important point, that as a devotee of the Lord or as an aspiring devotee of the Lord, we should always understand our humble position. We are very minute part and parcel of Krishna. There are billions and billions and billions of part and parcel. In the spiritual world, everybody is a perfected soul. Even in the material world, There's so many ants and so many insects and trees and birds and bees, all are parts of Krishna. And we are also one among the many parts. So just imagine our insignificant position, what we are in. So let's read text 15. Please repeat. Ata papi yasim yonim. Please repeat. Ata papi yasim yonim.
Hare Krishna. Atta. Just a minute, Prabhuji. I need to open the shloka.
Ata papi yasim yonim.
Atta papi ayasi yonim.
Asurim jahi durmate.
Asurim yahi durmate.
Yateha bhuyo mahatam.
Yatheha bhuyo mahatam.
Na karta putra kilbisam.
Na karta putra kilmisham.
Translation. O impudent one, my dear son, now take birth. O impudent one, my dear son, now take birth in a low, sinful family of demons, so that you will not commit such an offense again toward exalted, saintly persons in this world. Purport. One should be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of Vaishnava, of whom Lord Shiva is the best. While instructing Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described an offense at the lotus feet of Vaishnava as Hati Mata, a mad elephant. When a mad elephant enters a nice garden, it spoils the entire garden. Similarly, if one becomes like a mad elephant and commits offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, his entire spiritual career is halted. One should therefore be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Mother Parvati was justified in punishing Chitraketu. For Chitraketu impudently criticized the Supreme Father, Mahadev, who is the father of all living entities, conditioned within this material world. The goddess Durga is called Mother, and the Lord Shiva is called Father. A pure Vaishnava should be very careful to engage in a specific duty without criticizing others. This is the safest position. Otherwise, if one tends to criticize others, he may commit the great offense of criticizing a Vaishnava. Because Chitraketu was undoubtedly a Vaishnava, he might have been surprised with Parvati at cursing. Therefore, the goddess Parvati addressed him as Putra, or a son. Everyone is the son of Mother Durga, but she is not an ordinary mother. As soon as there is a small discrepancy in a demon's behavior, Mother Durga immediately punishes the demon so that he may come to his senses. This is explained by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Daivi hi esha gunamai mamamaya duratyaya mama eva prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who surrender unto me can easily cross beyond it. To surrender to Krishna means to surrender to his devotee also. For no one can be a proper servant of Krishna unless he is a proper servant of a devotee. Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payechi Likeva. Without serving a servant of Krishna, one cannot be elevated to being a servant of Krishna himself. Therefore, Mother Parvati spoke to Chitraketu exactly like a mother who says to her naughty child, my dear child, I am punishing you so that you won't do anything like this again. This tendency of mother to punish her child is found even in Mother Yashoda, who became the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mother Yashoda punished Krishna by binding him and showing him a stick. Thus, it is the duty of a mother to chastise her beloved son, even in the case of the Supreme Lord. It is to be understood that Mother Durga was justified in punishing Chitraketu. This punishment was a boon to Chitraketu because after taking birth as a demon, Vritrasura, he was promoted directly to Vaikuntha. So you can see what it means to who has the power to chastise. Either you have to be mother of Krishna, Mother Yashoda, or you have to be Durga Devi. They can chastise. Like all these wars which are taking place all over the world. This is a chastisement of Lord Durga on other living entities, on all living entities, because they commit so many offenses by killing innocent animals and eating them up. Mam Saha. Mam Saha means me, Mam means me, Saha means you. So if we can think we have the right to kill other living entities and eat them up, then the other living entities also have the right to kill you in every lifetime, as many as the hairs on the body of the animal. So you can imagine all these wars and calamities which are taking place. It's also a punishment of Mother Durga to correct the living entities. Only when such calamities happen, only the body is killed. The soul doesn't die. The soul is transferred into another body. And in the meantime, especially the Kali Yuga is progressing, the golden age of Kali is also started. So when they take birth in another species or another human body, they will get the opportunity to meet with devotees. And they will get the mercy of devotees. Brahmanda Brahmita Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Tapich. Then by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, such a soul will get the seed of pure devotion service. Therefore, it's a long journey to go back home, back to Godhead. But we have to understand that we are not Krishna, we are not Ishvara, we are not in control of our mind and senses, and we have no right to criticize anybody. A guru can chastise. Just like Prabhupada chastised me, I first met him. When I asked him the question, how did Lord Brahma understood the meaning of the word tapa when nothing was created, including Sanskrit? So there was a big pause in his room in Mayapur here. Then he looked at me and he told, don't think Krishna doesn't know what he's doing, and don't ask such stupid questions. I was like, my mind was blown off. What is this? I tried to please Prabhupada. But we think we are very intelligent and we do some stupid things. And it was the duty of Guru like Prabhupada to chastise me right in the first meeting, to put me where I belong to. Apne awqat mein rehna chahiye. One has to understand that our position is only a servant, and always remain as a servant, and always remain in such a way, act in such a way that pleases Guru and Krishna. Don't try to be, one should not be overly smart in front of Guru and Krishna. Maybe Prabhupada felt like that, but I wanted the mercy of a pure devotee, because that's what I read in the Bhagavatam, and I had no questions before that. So I had to ask some question. I was thinking for 1 year past, then I came up with this question. And because I wanted the mercy, I got the mercy in the form of chastisement. Don't ask such stupid questions. And it took some years to actually reconcile why Prabhupada chastised me. It was difficult for the false ego to take, but I was chastised and I got the mercy. That's what I wanted. But I did not know how to get the mercy in an appropriate way. Like Sanatana Goswami, he addressed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that you are so fortunate and such an exalted soul. He said, well, I don't know what exalted I am. I don't even know who I am. People call me, I'm a big Pandit, and I accept it, but I don't even know who I am and why am I suffering the three modes of nature and the three types of miseries. So we don't know all these things, basic things, and we start commenting on other devotees who are very exalted. So to know that, one has to come, as I said, to minimum Madhyam Adhikari platform, Namabha stage, Madhyam or Madhyam Uttam. Then one can have the ability of knowing somebody who is more exalted than us. Then when the eagerness comes in our heart to serve them, to hear them, and to perform all sorts of intimate services and fulfill their desire, then one will get the mercy of the Lord. So at this point, I'll stop and you can ask any questions you have or comments. Partha Prabhu, Vrindavan Vijay Prabhu.
Hare
Any
Krishna,
question?
Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to
Jai Ho.
Sri Prabhupada. It is
Jai.
your association and your Nectarian class is so means enjoyed so much. You're touching upon the qualities of Vaishnava and how the Vaishnava Sadachar, how he behaves with his Guru and with everybody else. First being the humility and compassion. And how Lord Shiva, the Vaishnava Yatha Sambhuda, is the topmost of the Vaishnava, and Parvati Devi also Vaishnavi, how they regulate us in our when we are under the modes of material nature, under he's somebody on the mode of material nature is Krishna. Lord Shiva is the father in the material world, and Parvati Devi, Durga Devi is mother in the material world. I have one question, Prabhu. Just
Yes.
Durga Devi, Mahamaya, Parvati, they chastise and at the same time protect. So how is this dichotomy in the same one explained? Like she chastises and yet she protects from the demons also, doesn't she?
Yes.
So
Right.
it's like
There is, yes.
is it like a doting mother? I mean, mother that also protects and also chastises this way.
Exactly. Like if sometimes the mother gives a good slap in the child's face due to some mischief, but the child has no other option than to run towards mother and close, hang to her sari and hide himself in the sari. This is often seen that a child will go because he has no other option. He knows my mother means good for me. But where will he go? He will not run away and leave the place. Like in America, we see children are waiting for their 18 years old and then they leave home and never to come back. Or once in a blue moon, they'll come and visit the parents if they want some money. You see? So that is not the case. Here we will go back to our mother. And at least in India, that is generally seen. We have seen when we were chastised, we were going and taking shelter of mother's sari and hiding ourselves. Even Krishna also did that. So this comes when we have giving such affectionate reciprocation. So sometimes a child has to be chastised. Who's going to do that job? Somebody else, the neighbor? No. The neighbor may have a mother's position, maybe as a contemporary of mother. Even if she is the real mother in the feeling, with the real feeling, she says, you cannot talk like this to your mother. An elderly person can say that. You have to know how to respect your mother. So ultimately, in the case of Durga Devi, she is not only the chastiser, but she is the well-wisher of all living entities. She can create earthquakes, and we might lose our bodies in that process, but we'll get a better body, a body in which we'll recognize our mistake. Like Bharat Maharaj, when he left the body of it, when he died, he was thinking of the deer, and he got the deer's body. But in the deer's body, he understood his mistake. Oh, because I was too absorbed in the deer, he would not associate as a deer with other deers also. Till he left the body of the deer, and he became Jada Bharat. And when he became Jada Bharat, he was deaf and dumb and mute and everything. He never associated with anybody. He never talked with anybody. And when that king whom He was one of the carriers of the palanquin. What is his name? It starts with R.
Rahugana.
Rahugana. Yes, thank you so much. Rahugana. And then he chastised, Rahugana chastised. Then also he did not protest. And finally, when he spoke, when he was allowed to speak, then he gave instructions on self-realization, which Rahugana couldn't believe it. He is a palanquin carrier. How is he so exalted in his behavior? Who's that? Somebody is chanting Om. Therefore, it takes a little time for us to understand. Ram Rasika, is somebody chanting Om in your room?
Yes, Prabhuji, my daughter is doing yoga.
Acha. Okay. You could hear it all the way in Mayapur. So we have to understand that when mother, especially a mother like Durga Devi, chastises us, it is for our own better. Just like sometimes you get sickness, you overeat some 10 gulab jamuns or something, then you get a real stomach problem, then you pass air and you're very uncomfortable. Why this uncomfortable after eating a lot of gulab jamuns? Because you've overdone your capacity. You're not happy with 1 or 2 gulab jamuns, you took 10 or 15 gulab jamuns. Then your stomach will be upset. But that stomach upset is a lesson to teach. And next time, don't eat so much gulab jamun. Just eat 1 or 2. But similarly, material nature is like that. It chastises us so that we will never behave disrespectfully to any living entity, including the trees, the material nature, and all the living entities. But Krishna is the father of all living entities. Sarva yoneshu kaunteya. Is that okay? That answer, Partha?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions anybody has? Alek Prabhu, I've never seen him before.
Haribol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. How are you?
Good, Prabhuji. How are you doing?
By Krishna's grace, doing all right.
Okay. Yeah.
Today is the Republic Day of India, so Mayapur has so much crowd, you cannot believe it.
Oh.
Whenever there is holiday, thousands and thousands of people come. All the roads, everywhere, everything is jammed. Nobody can move.
Really good celebrations.
They're celebrating Independence Day, but nobody is independent to even move.
Nice.
It's not like we are taking off like a helicopter and then flying in the air, go wherever we want. No, you're not independent yet.
Yeah.
Vrindavan Vijay Das Prabhu. You're there, Vrindavan Vijay Das Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Danvat Pranam,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Jai Jai, all glories Prabhupada, all glories Shri Guru God. Yes. You have any questions?
No, Prabhuji. It's a nice class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I have no question, but I enjoyed your class.
Which part of US you are staying in?
I'm in East Coast, Prabhuji. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay. And what do you do in Pennsylvania?
Prabhuji, I work for Johnson Controls.
Johnson Controls.
Right.
Okay. And Alek, what do you do, Alek?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I work for Lonza Biopharma company. It manufactures cell and gene therapies.
Okay.
So so I work as a supply chain analyst.
Okay.
Yes, and I stay in Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
Yeah.
So almost all these devotees who are on this Bhagavatam class, they are mostly staying in the eastern part of US, I think.
Yes, I guess. Yeah.
Very good. Then we will have a short kirtan just to finish this class. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Everybody.
Jai Jai
Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai.
Jai Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Jai Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya
Hare.
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Jaya
Gurudeva,
Gurudeva, Jaya
Gurudeva,
Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur.
Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaura, Jaya Nitai, Jaya
Jai Gauri.
Jaya Radharaman, Jaya Radharaman, Radharaman, Jaya Radhe.
Radharaman, Jaya Radharaman, Radharaman, Jaya
Radhe.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol,
Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari
Hari Bol,
Bol.
Nita Gaura Hari Bol.
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev,
Jai,
Hare.
Jai,
Radharaman Giridhar Govardhan ki jai,
Jai,
Grantharaj Bhagavatam ki jai ho.
Jai.
Jai.
His Grace Ramshradha Prabhuji ki Jai.
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 ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, सुखदेव गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील purports की जय. All glories to all glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All
Hare
glories,
Krishna.
all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada की जय हो.
Jai. Thank
कल्पतरु
you so much.
वैष्णव
Prashindracha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namaha.
Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all next time.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this nectarian class. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.